Hello, my name is Rebecca Leonardis, and I want to welcome you today to this continuing education segment. This is actually module number 7. So if you are just leaning in for the first time and picking up a continuing education class, the good news for you is that you've joined us on a great week. Today we're talking women's health and hormones. But the other piece of great news is that there are other segments to take advantage of. In total, we have 8 modules or segments that you can take advantage of now as a doTERRA member. And the beautiful thing with these segments is that they are all designed to focus on one particular topic. So I mentioned today was women's health and hormones, but we've dove into health, as it relates to sleep and stress and emotions. We will talk pain relief. We've talked about so many different things. And to kick off the 8 modules, we always start with, I've got my oils, now what? So it's a great beginning module to get started with. But regardless of where you jump in and start listening, you're in the perfect place, because the great thing is that this session, these continuing education classes will continue to loop for you. So if you happen to miss a few of them, find out when the next session is running and you can join us during that session. Sound good? We hope you'll join us. So as I mentioned, today's segment is called Women's Health and Hormones. And I'm Rebecca. I'm the lucky one that gets to take you through this material. I love speaking on this topic because there really isn't anyone that's not affected by the health of their hormones. So this is really kind of a perfect topic for any one of us, regardless of whether you are, in your teen years, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. You can pull information from this that will have significant impact on your overall health. The greatest part of it all is really that you are already a doTERRA member. So everything that we're sharing with you is designed for you to be able to maximize the membership that you already have. So if you attended a Essential Oils 101 class, or if you attended an Essential Oils Made Easy, that's our beginner style class. That's likely where you were motivated to sign up or enroll with doTERRA. And then as a gift, we like to add on all of these additional classes so that you feel super confident about how and when and why to use any of the additional oils. Your membership is something that will have such an impact on your health, both in the immediate sense as well as over the long term. And we really want to help facilitate that confidence. So we're glad you're here. Thank you for being with us. Let's start this conversation with a question. So if you could just pause for a moment, maybe you've got a piece of paper and a pencil or something nearby, or you can think about this, or maybe even jot it in your phone, whatever works for you. I'm going to ask you a question on a scale of 1 to 10. If 1 was no unwanted symptoms and 10 was out of control symptoms, how would you score your monthly cycle? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, the secondary question to that is, if peri or postmenopause, how are your symptoms with respect to that stage of life? Now, something to give some consideration to. Are there areas of hormone balance that are difficult for you right in this moment? I don't want you to be thinking about, years ago or during a stressful period of life or anything like that. I want you to be thinking about the responses to these as they relate to your health in your current circumstance. So if you can check the boxes on any of these, hyperthyroid or hypothyroid, adrenal fatigue, difficulty losing weight, a variety of them here, you can see that these are all symptomatic of a hormone imbalance. So the good news is, in this segment, we're going to talk about some really great doTERRA products that can help you support your body, support your hormones in achieving a state of balance. So what I really want to emphasize before we get started is the fact that the products that we'll be talking about are not hormones themselves. They simply work as it's plant medicine. So they have an impact on the body, and that impact is to create balance or homeostasis in the body. So we can't swing estrogen, for example, one way or another, but we can support your body in regulating what is normal for you. And if you are a natural health lover, that probably sounds like exactly what you've been looking for. So let's dive into this. We already know, we know a lot about the female reproductive system. What I want to re-emphasize is the fact that our ovaries secrete the estrogen and the progesterone, which we know that it's crucial for things like fertility, but it also plays a key role regardless of the stage of life that you're at. It plays a key role in our emotional and physical health. So always these hormones play a key role. There's never not a time where they're not playing a role in our lives. So nutrition and hydration directly impact the production of these hormones. That leads us into the very first doTERRA product that we're going to talk about. If you've been with us through many of these modules, you're going to keep seeing this product pop up. It is the Lifelong Vitality Supplements. Because you always want to start from a place of good foundational health, I think you're going to continue, in fact, I know you will, continue to see this product pop up whenever we start talking about any particular area of our health. So the supplements come in the 3 bottles, if you're really new to this, exactly as you see pictured here, and they are foundational for nutrition and hormone balance. And certainly, I can attest to this, certainly foundational for energy levels. They're packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatories and botanical extracts and energy cofactors. And it is remarkable the number of people that I have had positive testimonials from who didn't necessarily notice the shift in their health while they were using the product. And like many of us, we can kind of fall off the wagon every once in a while. So we stop using things. And then all of a sudden, the person who had been using Lifelong Vitality supplements begins noticing that they don't have the energy that they did. And they're not feeling as stable emotionally as they did. They just are not feeling like themselves. And then it clicks. I stopped taking my supplements. They really were working for me. So if you're anything like myself or several of the people who have encountered this experience, I'd love to hear your personal story. You can either send that to me through a direct message or type it in the chat box, whichever you prefer to do. But I love hearing these because I think it really puts the punctuation mark on the fact that we're all experiencing the benefits of this awesome product. There are additional supplements though, and specific to women's health, specific to women's hormones. Now, this one here is a bone nutrient. So men and women alike can use this one. We tend to speak about it more in the women's health arena, just because that seems to be who our audience is most often, but men can certainly use this, of course. So it's bioavailable nutrition for bone integrity, strength, and overall health. You would take this along with your Lifelong Vitality supplements. It would not replace your Lifelong Vitality supplements. LLV, as we like to call it, is the foundation, and then you can begin building on top of it, and that's where this bone nutrient plus this awesome product, the phytoestrogen complex, can be added to your daily supplemental routine. And if it seems like a lot of supplements, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But, you know, our food these days is nutritionally deficient just because of the soil things are grown in and a lot of the different practices for the way we get our food these days. So there is this nutritional gap. So while we may feel like we're feeding our bodies, we are actually feeding them, but we're not offering the nutrition sometimes in its densest form to be able to provide that excellent level of nutrition. So supplementing, while it seems like a lot, it pays itself back in dividends. So phytoestrogen complex, let's run through just a few details on this. So this is like a natural form of estrogen therapy. It's not as I emphasized before, it's not actually estrogen. We are absorbing a lot of things that the body interprets as estrogen. So you've probably heard about, plastics being something that you should avoid if you're adopting a healthy lifestyle. That's because the plastics, the compounds in plastic are recognized in the body because they mimic what estrogen looks like. We call them xenoestrogens, and they can be absorbed from external items like that. And the body just needs estrogen, so it will pull it from where it can get it. As that kind of estrogen, the xenoestrogens, I want you to think of that like the bully on the schoolyard. You do not want to be participating in that. That is not favorable for your overall health. Instead, what we need to be doing to support our body's natural regulation of hormones is to adopt products that are natural, such as the phytoestrogen complex from doTERRA. This minimizes unwanted symptoms. Sorry, I had to get on track there. It's funny how your brain goes off track for a moment. It minimizes unwanted symptoms associated with the menstrual cycle. It contains an ingredient called genistein, a fermented soy extract that promotes healthy breast tissue and brings balance to hormones in both men and women. Excellent product to have on hand. Now we talk for a moment about an essential oil that is probably well known all around the world, but did you know that it does have this incredible ability to support our bodies in regulating hormonal activity? So rose is known as the queen of oils, and it is an extraordinarily expensive oil to get your hand on. So doTERRA, the way doTERRA always takes care of us is puts it in this diluted form. So a diluted roller bottle, you still get the benefits of rose, but it is also, it is diluted in fractionated coconut oil. So you get all of the benefits without that real hefty price tag. So this is absolutely beautiful to apply over the heart, creates emotional balance, it boosts libido, it promotes openness and confidence. You can also apply this to the lower abdomen for relief of menstrual discomfort, and it promotes regular ovulation. It is also one of the most extraordinary aromatic experiences that you can have, so do enjoy using that. The goal with these classes too, I should have maybe added this at the beginning, is just to expose you to products that you didn't learn about in your essential oils basic class, whether it was called Essential Oils 101 or Essential Oils Made Easy. The idea with that class is to keep it really simple and, to get you started on your journey to wellness. You may not have taken the time as of yet to learn what else is available. So exposing you to these products as they relate to particular health topics is a great way for you to know and sort of strategize on what you might like to add to your cart next, or down the road, or 6 months from now, because you'll be aware that it exists, first of all. Clary Calm, this is a beautiful blend that I don't know a woman yet who hasn't enjoyed having this available to her. Maybe not to use every single day. Again, we are attracted to the oils when we need them. This one is terrific, applied to the abdomen to aid with hormonal balancing, heavy periods, and all of the symptoms related with that. Cramping, hot flashes, mood swings, anything basically related to PMS. The endocrine system is the system that we're referring to when we're talking anything women's health, and particularly hormonal health. If you have spent any time learning about the endocrine system on your own, you know that it is a very complex system, and hormones are responsible for regulating all kinds of other systems. So your sleep is affected by your hormones, your weight affected by the hormones, sex drive, appetite, body temperature. There are so many different functions within hormonal regulation. Now, I love at this point in this class to remind you that you've already made an unbelievably good decision for your health by becoming a doTERRA member, because remember what you learned. Using essential oils, even aromatically, there's 3 ways to use your oils, right? Aromatically, topically and internally. I want you to think for a moment about the fact that our sense of smell, or our olfactory system, is 1,000 times more effective or more sensitive than any other sense. So that's a powerful consideration. The other thing to consider with that is that it provides direct access to the brain, to a specific area of the brain, in fact, called the limbic brain. Contained within the limbic brain is the endocrine system. And we know that the endocrine system regulates hormonal activity, and the hormonal activity affects like so many other systems in the body. So just simply through your sense of smell or your olfactory system, you are able to create a reaction of balance within the body. That's really powerful, with no risk of side effects or addiction. Very powerful in the natural world to grab a hold of that feeling and really know it and understand it. So to go a little bit further, endocrine system is involved in growth and development. We mentioned metabolism before, nutrient regulation, and overall homeostasis. So it's basically a system of glands that produce and send hormones to organs and tissues all over the body, and it does that through the circulatory system. So I mentioned before that essential oils can be very beneficial since they're circulated in the same way and profoundly benefit the cells they encounter in the process. And what cells do they encounter in the process? They affect every cell in the body through that circulatory process. So again, just by breathing it in, or we talked about using the rose topically over the heart, absorbing it through the skin. There are magnificent ways to facilitate a balanced state of being through using your essential oils. Also, as it relates to women and hormonal health, caring for your liver, that beautiful organ responsible for detoxification, it's the underpinning of hormonal balance. So it's really important that you're drinking a lot of water, and sometimes drinking a lot of water is not maybe it's not the sexiest thing, it's not your favorite thing, but you can add an essential oil to it, both to change the flavor and make it a little more exciting, and also to receive the health benefits. So probably when you got started with doTERRA, you most likely started with one of the awesome starter kits. And in that kit, almost always is a bottle of lemon essential oil. Let's get that oil working to cleanse your liver. We've talked about how lemon cleanses everything else. Let's talk about how it can support the body in this really significant way. You can add a single drop of lemon to your water and sip on that throughout the day. You could also opt for another product. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Slim and Sassy. In Canada, that one's called Smart and Sassy. No one knows why the name is different on that one. It's the exact same blend. You could also consider, for hormone balancing and detoxification of the liver, we have a supplement called Zendocrine. Nice little soft gel, easy to consume. That is something that can be taken once a day to support overall liver health and ultimately your hormonal health. Taking care of your pancreas. You know, this is a product that we don't talk about this one nearly enough. And I know a lot of women, as soon as they see metabolic balance or metabolic support, we're all about it because we all struggle in some way to balance metabolism. Maybe it's at certain times of the day, maybe it's at certain times of the year, but regardless, we could use a little support every now and again. So I want to introduce you to this product called Slim and Sassy. Again, it's another soft gel. So soft gels are great because they're really jelly and they're easy to consume. So if you struggle with swallowing supplements, these are definitely going to be your favorites because they're easy to swallow. You could take 1 to 3 of these. It helps to regulate blood sugar and release excess water. So will you lose weight? Depends how you measure that. I mean, water weight is something that you're going to be releasing. So you will see a number likely on the scale come down, but just be very cautious when it comes to that type of measurement and judgment of yourself. Caring for our adrenals. So the adrenals are an important part of our overall endocrine system. If you're not sure where to find the adrenals, You've likely heard adrenal fatigue before, but the adrenals can actually be found if you put both of your hands on your back, sort of right above the kidneys. That's where you're gonna find your adrenals. They're just tiny little guys, but they work really, really hard and they could use your support. So a couple of considerations for supporting adrenals, particularly adrenal fatigue, is to use Magnolia at least twice daily. And again, our Magnolia is in a pre-diluted roller ball, making it so easy to use, because if you're applying to the back, you need something that's easy to use, right? And it would be kind of hard with a bottle, you know, shaking a little bit of oil on the adrenals. The roller bottles are terrific for this. So you're going to apply over the adrenals, massage it in, and you can do that, like I said, twice at least a day, but use it at your leisure. Now, another product, I personally can't say enough about this one. It's called Mitomax. And I use this one twice a day, as it's prescribed to be used twice a day. This one is an energy and stamina complex. Oh, I love this product. And it too was something that I didn't realize the value of until I stopped using it. And then I was tired and feeling like I needed to take a nap every day, and, you know, just not able to release that sort of brain fog feeling that you can have when your hormones are kind of out of balance. Mitomax is a supplement that has really had a significant impact on how I feel throughout the day from an energetic perspective. If you are really looking to try something that has an impact, all of the products we've been talking about so far have. If I had to pick one, it would be Mitomax. Caring for our thyroid, again, another significant component. There's not a woman out there who hasn't heard the word thyroid. Our thyroids all like to behave a little differently. So what we're looking again to achieve is balance. So some of our thyroids are overactive, some of them are underactive, and there's a whole host of matching symptoms for each of those levels of activity of the thyroid. So when you have a thyroid issue, and many women these days do, it has everything to do with our environment and everything to do with stress and the way we're able to balance that and cope with things. This is not a life sentence. Your really diligent personal care habits are critically important. Obviously, you're going to want to check things like nutrition and hydration and all of those types of things. But there are other tools like the essential oils we're talking about that can help up level that entire experience. So look at these 4 oils depicted here. This creates a beautiful balancing thyroid blend. So when I say that, you know, the pre-diluted roller bottles that we keep talking about from doTERRA, if you're newer to doTERRA, you can actually get in your back office, or there's a lot of probably a local supplier close to where you live that sell tools where you can do your own essential oil projects, so to speak, DIY projects. And the idea here is that you take your bottles, your clove, your myrrh, lemongrass, and frankincense, you combine 10 each of those oils, and then you top it up with frankincense, fractionated coconut, sorry, not frankincense, my goodness, fractionated coconut oil. You've essentially made yourself a personalized blend that is designed to help target and balance the thyroid. It's good to know that you can get those roller bottles and create your own blends at your leisure. You are certainly encouraged to look at apps and resource books and, you know, internet. Ask myself, ask the person who enrolled you, ask a lot of questions. Begin to feel confident with the oils that you have and the oils that you're looking forward to adding to your collection. I love this blend though. Again, I'm just going to repeat them. It was clove, myrrh, lemongrass, and frankincense to create a very beautiful thyroid care blend. We often put together just ideas for you. So if your top health priority was balancing hormones, what would creating a box with maximum impact look like? In this situation, we've given you this example. We highly recommend the phytoestrogen and the bone nutrient supplements. We talked about the Rose Roller Bottle, remember that one, right over the heart. And we talked about Claricalm, Claricalm being something that can be used on the wrists, pulse points, across the abdomen. And a creation such as this would be about $139, which is the equivalent of 125 PV. You're starting to learn more about PV through your experience with doTERRA, but it's great to know that this box would qualify you for the product of the month, which is something that is offered to all of us as members every single month when we spend 125 PV, and we do so on or before the 15th of the month. You get your free oil and you get your LRP credits, so your loyalty reward credits. So when you first begin loyalty rewards, remember you earn 10% back on the PV you spend. So you would earn 10% back on 125. Over time, however, you stay on the program, maybe you start really loving and noticing the difference in yourself through maybe a box like this or the Lifelong Vitality supplements. 3 months of you using it goes by. Now all of a sudden you're earning 15% back on your spend. Another 3 months goes by, doTERRA bumps it up to 20% back in rewards, all the way up to 30% after a year of being in the program. You can't even imagine the impact that loyalty program has. There's nothing else like it. I'm a member of everything. Air, whatever those, oh my God, Air Miles. Couldn't even think of it. Air Miles, Shoppers Drug Mart rewards, Costco rewards, you name it. I've got all of the rewards programs, and I have never encountered a program that literally encourages you to keep taking care of yourself. So every time you purchase, there's money being put, because the PV can be spent on products down the road, but encouraging you to spend that back on yourself with more product. So allowing you to explore and expand your collection, but more importantly, allowing you to use points to cash in on some of the products that are really making a difference in your overall health. This is big. This is a wellness company. I don't know another company like it. So do take a look at that. You're a member anyhow, use it, buy from yourself, reward yourself back. There is a great doTERRA leader. His name is Boyd Truman, and he has a collection of protocols called Symphony of the Cells. I wanted to introduce it to you in this class, as we have with some of our previous classes. I wanted to give you the protocol for women's health and hormones. This is a hormone balancing blend that is designed to be easy and very effective. So if you look at the oils that are included, there's quite a few there, many of which, if you're newer, you're not going to have these in your collection. But again, it's something to let you know that these types of protocols exist. If your top priority is balancing hormones, perhaps looking deeper into some of these things is exactly what you need. I would encourage you, if you're not sure exactly what to put in your cart, you've learned a lot from this class, but you're still a little unclear about what your first step should look like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk to one another about where you are at personally with your health journey and how we can best put the right products in your cart that are easy to use, because when they're easy, it's sustainable. Like you'll continue doing it, and to get you maximum rewards back. That is really something that all of us educators pride ourselves on being able to support you in doing. So let's personally have a conversation, or connect with the person that invited you to the class or who enrolled you. We're all available to you. We are part of a doTERRA education team, and we all thrive off of being able to support you with what we know. So do ask, do find out what's best for you. Don't hold off using your membership. It's something that is extraordinarily valuable to you. So it has been my pleasure to bring that information to you on the health side of things, the hormonal health side of things. I want to remind you, as we always like to do, that with doTERRA, if health is a priority, I wonder if you might be open to the idea of financial health as being part of that priority as well. Because it's no secret that there is a business side to the doTERRA experience. And me, myself, I'm really, I can only speak from my own personal experience. I've been doing doTERRA as a business now for about 6 years. Actually, it's more than 6 years. Like it was 6 years in June. And I did not set out to be someone who was spending all of my time in this essential oils world, but it's amazing how when you really enjoy something and see it having an effect on your family, you'll share it with a couple friends. Then you'll share it with maybe some extended family, but you find that you're talking about it an awful lot and people are noticing some shifts and some changes in you. That's sharing doTERRA. That's all it is. It's plugging people into how they could bring the oils into their own home. So that's literally how it started for me. Once I began to realize that that was quite honestly the bread and butter of it all, just sharing what you already love and showing people how to bring it into their own home. There is income to be earned. And I always encourage people, if you are a health seeker, wouldn't it be so great if you could get the oils that you're already using for free each month? Because that's step number one. That's what I like to work with you on, is how do we get you in a position where what you're ordering already, which is probably 125 PV, how do we cover that cost? So what you're investing in your family's health is being covered by you sharing it in other people's families to benefit their health. It's really as easy as that. I've made a living from it. So I'm one of those testimonials that, can prove that this type of model is very effective. I love the work that I do. I love the fact that I get to be home when I want to be home. I have that time. I don't want to say complete time freedom because I'm a mom. So I don't know. I don't know that you're ever totally free, but I have time flexibility. And I have the type of financial freedom now that allows me to make some decisions that I would not have been able to make, prior to 6 years ago. So it's really wonderful, the experience. On top of all of that, and maybe more important than anything I've already mentioned, is the community that doTERRA pulls together. You might already be feeling this. When like-minded people come together, it's really cool. And most of the friendships that I would say are the truest I've ever had in my entire life come from this community. So it's very supportive, very encouraging, very fun, very informative, just always there for you. So there are a few things in life that you can say that about, and I can say with 100% certainty, doTERRA is amongst those for me. So if you're curious at all about the business side of things, drop me a note and I'll just send you a little package of information and you can look at it at your leisure, or we can make it part of our health consultation conversation. Sound good? Okay, I like to customize to wherever you're at. So enjoy your day today. We have one more class left in this 8-part module series. It is on pain. It'll be taught by Heather Harris next week, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys again. Take good care of yourselves. Until then, bye-bye.